So the story of yesterday's game was that Aaron Sanchez leaves the game early. You can't get much, pitching was really off. And the offense was there. You were hitting the home run. You got 5 runs. It was looking great, but you lost 9-5 to 8-5 or whatever the heck the final score was yesterday. It was too dang early in the morning for doing a video. I apologize, guys. But today, once again, it's a different story. It's on a different day for the Toronto Blue Jays. They lose 2-1 to the Los Angeles Angels. And they had 9 hits. Couldn't really bring any across the score other than a Devin Travis RBI double there. I think it was in the 7th inning. Yeah, an RBI bringing in Aledmus Diaz. So Travis stays red hot. Positive news, Steve Pearce comes off the DL. Lourdes Gurriel, we talked about it yesterday, how he had such a great game while he got optioned back to AAA Buffalo. But guys, that's what's going to happen with these young guys, Dwight Smith Jr., a guy like Lourdes Gurriel, Anthony Alford, guys like that right now, just because this team makeup is not where it wants to be. So you want to keep these guys grooming in AAA Buffalo. I get it. I know it sucks. You want to see the future on this team, especially since you've seen flashes. But it's not going to happen all the time. You saw a great game for Gurriel. Now he's going to go back to Buffalo, having played a game and done very well in that game. Maybe some positive things moving forward when it comes to him. But for this Jays team, Steve Pearce comes into the game, and the reason I mentioned him early on, because he was batting leadoff right out of the game. I think he was batting leadoff for the Bisons. I know one of you guys out there, one of the subscribers on there, you're in Buffalo, you're a Buffalo supporter, and I know you talk about the Buffalo Bisons and stuff. Like you gave a few updates on Steve Pearce. Was he I'm pretty sure he was batting leadoff for most of the games, if I'm not mistaken. You can keep me posted on that. But he was 3 for 4 today. Got into the leadoff spot and had 1/3 of the Jays' hits. And, he's hitting 300 on the year, as much as he's been injured quite a bit. He's only been in 22 games, but he's hitting 300. I mean, I'm not going to complain. Anybody who can hit 300 is great. Kenrich Morales stays red hot. He was 2 for 4 in the game today. His average is now 245, guys. Kind of what we got used to last year. About the 250, 260 range Morales was kind of hovering around. But the thing about Morales, I think his strikeout totals have gone down. He didn't strike out in the ball game today. It looks like his approach is a little bit different. It's a little bit better than it was. And I think that is why he's succeeding the way he is. He's using the entire field, trying to straight up the defense a little bit. Again, they're gonna keep playing him pull until he shows on a consistent basis he can do that. But it was nice to see him go 2 for 4 in the game. Pilar was 1 for 4. Martin 1 for 4. Diaz 1 for 3. And obviously Travis, who was 1 for 3 with the RBI double. On the mound for the Jays, Marco Estrada. And for the second game in a row, the Blue Jays starters have given up 2 runs in the first inning. And that's a problem. I know Estrada pitched a very, very good game. We'll get to that in a second. But when you're putting your team in a 2-0 hole right away against at least a fairly good Los Angeles Angels team, it's not going to be easy to come back. You look at what their starting pitcher did. Andrew Heaney went 7 innings, gave up 9 hits, but he only gave up 1 run and didn't walk a batter. He was great. Marco Estrada, after those 2 runs, however, is his total line. I mean, my goodness, he went 7 innings, gave up only 3 hits, 2 runs, only walked 2 guys, and struck out 7. He was fantastic, and his ERA dropping, it was almost 20 points, now 4.48. It's getting back down to normal. But problem is, with that great outing, he takes the loss because the Jays offense couldn't get the clutch hit. They don't hit a home run. And I don't know what the stat is when the Jays don't hit a home run, but I know it's not great. And we saw it again today. Tyler Clippard came out in the bottom of the 8th inning and just went a clean inning. No hits, no walks, no strikeouts. Just a clean inning of work there. Again, possibly a trading asset. You look at guys like John Axford, I wouldn't say Danny Barnes. Maybe Tyler Clippard, John Axford, Sengwon-Oh, those 3 guys are kind of like trade chips moving forward. Why? Because they all got signed to 1-year deals. This team isn't doing well. All 3 guys are, 33 or higher age-wise. You want to try and get something back. And plus, Clippard is having a very good year. Only a 3.34 ERA. That's a very serviceable reliever for a contending team. Axford, maybe not so much. And Sengwon-Oh, kind of like Clippard, a very, very solid reliever with closer experience, as does Clippard moving forward for other teams. So, as we get closer to the deadline, I know this team is now 7 games under 500, and they're on a 7-game road trip, and they've lost the first 2 games. They've been tough games. At one point in the first game, they had the a lead, and they blew it because of John Axford. Today, they didn't have the lead. They had opportunities to get the lead at some points, but really didn't have a whole lot going. They did early on, but as the game went along, and you let Andrew Heaney kind of settle in, didn't look great for the Blue Jays, as they, like I said, they came away with a 2-1 loss. But again, you got to try and find to take positives. And we talked about it yesterday, guys, about Teoscar Hernandez's struggles, right? He was 0 for 4 in the back-to-back games with 3 strikeouts in each game. He sat today. So I think that was a needed time off for him. The finale, that goes tomorrow as Barria, I think it's Jose Barria? Jaime Barria, I don't know why I thought Jose. And Marcus Stroman is on the mound for the Blue Jays coming off the DL. I mean, the last time Marcus Stroman pitched was May 8th. It's been a grueling process for Stroman, and this is what we talked about in the spring training, guys, and this is why I think I mentioned it in the spring videos as well. Marcus Stroman had that inflammation, right, in the spring. We're like, okay, well, you don't want him to bring that back too early. You're not playing for game 1 or game 2 of the year. You're playing for the entire season. He starts the year feeling good, and then on May 8th, after a month into the season, having not pitched well, goes down with injury and he's out a month and a half. That's what we were worried about. Now I'm hoping he comes back and he's 100% healthy and good to go. If he does, maybe we'll see a different Marcus Stroman. Can't get much worse than what we've already seen from him this year. There were times where we saw some good stuff, but there's a lot of negatives for Marcus Stroman. I mean, you look at it, right? 0-5 record with a 7.71 ERA. Can't get much worse than that. That's Joe Biagini numbers, people. Oh, you lost the light in a little bit here. Put that into perspective. That's what Stroman's done this year. Not very good. But again, he's coming off the DL. He's got a fresh slate. You look what happened to J-Hap last year, right? He was not the greatest to start the year. Went on the DL for 3-4 weeks or whatever it was last year. Comes back. He's a new guy and he pitches unbelievable the rest of the year. Maybe that's Marcus Stroman. If that's the case, that's great. With your 2 young pitchers, obviously with Stroman and Sanchez, you want them healthy. Sanchez, we still don't really know what's going to be happening with him. Stroman is back. I'm hoping he's healthy. It's a 9:07 first pitch tomorrow, so an hour earlier than today. Whoop-de-doo, but it's a Saturday night, people. It don't matter. All right? So for the Blue Jays, they look to salvage, I guess, it's a 4-game set. They look to win at least one game. And they look for the only way they can get a split is if they win the next 2. The finale is Sam Gaviglio versus Felix Pena. It looks like it was a guy in his first outing or a reliever. He only pitched 6 innings this season for the Angels. And Gaviglio is obviously going to be coming off paternity leave. And that you could arguably say that's why Gaviglio hasn't been pitching well lately, because his mind's been somewhere else. And rightfully so. Congratulations to him on his newborn child. I mean, that's always a crazy thing for a baseball player, especially having pitched a game. I think it was on the Sunday. I was at that game, the Father's Day game, and then leaving right away, being put on paternity and leaving. That's a lot of things to go through your mind in that time span. But now he's back. Kids in the world. Everything's going great. Now you got to pitch a ball game. All right. So like I said, guys, tomorrow Marcus Stroman hits the mound. I am pumped to figure out what he can do on the mound against the Angels, a very good team. Okay, you're on the road and you're facing a very good team that has won the first 2 games of the series. What can you do, Stro Show? I want to see what he can do. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys did not enjoy this game. Hey, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. What'd you guys think of this game? Where did they go wrong? What'd you think of Marco Estrada? What are your expectations for Stroman tomorrow? And also, the Leafs, Rasmus Sandin, the newest Toronto Maple Leaf left-handed defenseman from the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. A lot of people wanted Joe Veleno. I was kind of one of those guys, but then when you look at who you got, I'm not complaining. Very good player. Raw, he's only 18 years old. He still has 2 more years of junior eligibility. I'm not going to complain, all right? Let me know what you guys think about that, and I'll talk to you guys Tuesday podcast edition. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes, guys. Go check that out. Twitter, down in the description. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great kind of stuff, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night as the Jays look to win a game and end this mini 2-game road losing streak to start this 7-game stretch against very, very good ball clubs. Marcus Stroman hits the mound tomorrow for his first start since May 8th. You know, I mean, I'm pumped to watch him go, and he's facing Jaime Barria of the LA Angels. 9:07 first pitch. We'll talk to you guys then.